Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome back to the English Practice Podcast, the show where we help you sound more natural and confident in English, no matter where you are.
That's right. Whether you're listening in your car, on the bus, at home, or even while taking a walk, we're here to help you practice and improve your English.
Today's episode is all about storytelling. We'll show you how to tell stories in English, why stories are important, and how you can use stories to connect with people and remember new vocabulary.
We'll share some real-life stories, break down the language, and give you tips for telling your own stories. We'll also practice together and finish with a fun quiz and a challenge.
So, wherever you are, get comfortable, open your mind, and let's get started.
First, let's talk about why storytelling is so powerful. Amanda, what do you think?
Well, stories are everywhere. We use them to share experiences, teach lessons, entertain, and connect with others. When you tell a story, people listen. It's a great way to practice English and make your language more interesting.
Exactly. And stories help you remember new words and grammar because you use them in context. Plus, everyone loves a good story.
So let's jump into our first story. Listen carefully and see what you notice about the way we tell it.
Story 1. The Lost Wallet. Last year, I had a really interesting experience. I was walking to work one morning when I saw something shiny on the sidewalk. At first, I thought it was just a piece of trash, but when I got closer, I realized it was a wallet.
Oh, wow. What did you do?
Well, I picked it up and looked inside. There was some cash, a few credit cards, and an ID card with a name and address. I thought, what should I do? I decided to try to return it.
That's so kind of you.
I walked to the address on the ID card. It was only a few blocks away. When I got there, I rang the doorbell. A woman opened the door and I said, "Excuse me, did you lose your wallet?" She looked surprised and checked her bag. Then she smiled and said, "Yes, thank you so much." She was so happy and grateful, it made my day.
That's a great story. And it shows how a small act of kindness can make a big difference.
Let's break down the story. Did you notice how I started? I used the past tense. Last year, I had a really interesting experience. That's a good way to begin a story.
Yes, and you use time words like one morning, at first, and when I got there. These help the listener follow the story.
I also used direct speech. "Excuse me, did you lose your wallet?" That makes the story more lively and real.
And you described your feelings. She was so happy and grateful. It made my day. Sharing feelings helps your listener connect with you.
Let's practice some useful phrases for starting a story. Repeat after us. Last year, I had an interesting experience.
One day, something unexpected happened.
A few years ago, I learned an important lesson.
Great. Now let's look at some phrases for moving the story forward.
At first, I thought,
But then I realized,
when I got there,
suddenly,
in the end.
excellent. These phrases help your story flow smoothly.
Now let's listen to another story, this time from Amanda.
Okay, here's one of my favorite stories. A few years ago, my friends decided to throw me a surprise birthday party. I had no idea. On the day of my birthday, one of my friends invited me to lunch. She said it would just be the two of us.
Did you suspect anything?
Not at all. We went to a small restaurant, and after we finished eating, she said she wanted to show me something. We walked to her house, and when I opened the door, all my friends jumped out and shouted, "Surprise!" I was so shocked, I almost cried.
That sounds amazing.
It was. They decorated the house, made a cake, and even played my favorite music. It was one of the best birthdays I've ever had.
That's a wonderful story. Let's talk about how Amanda told it. She used the past tense. My friends decided to throw me a surprise birthday party, and she used expressions like, "I had no idea," and "I was so shocked."
And I used direct speech. Surprise! That makes the story more exciting.
Let's practice some phrases for showing surprise. Repeat after us. I had no idea.
I was so shocked.
I couldn't believe it.
It was the best day ever.
Great. Now let's talk about how to end the story.
You can use phrases like, in the end, finally, or it was an experience I'll never forget.
Let's practice. Repeat after us. In the end, everything worked out.
It was an experience I'll never forget.
Excellent. Now let's do a dialogue where two friends share stories. Dialogue. Sharing stories. Have you ever lost something important?
Yes, last month I lost my phone on the bus.
Oh no. Did you get it back?
Luckily, yes. Someone found it and gave it to the driver. I was so relieved.
That's amazing. I once lost my keys at the park. I had to wait for hours until someone found them.
Wow, that must have been stressful.
It was, but in the end, everything was okay.
Now let's talk about the structure of a good story.
A good story usually has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Start by setting the scene, when and where did it happen, then describe what happened, and finally, share the results or your feelings.
For example, last summer, I went camping with my family. One night, we heard a strange noise outside our tent. At first, we were scared, but then we realized it was just a raccoon looking for food. In the end, we laughed about it.
Let's practice telling a short story together. I'll start and you finish.
Okay. Last weekend, I tried a new recipe for dinner. At first, I was worried it wouldn't taste good, but...
Maybe you can say, in the end, it was delicious and my family loved it.
Excellent. Now let's talk about using descriptive language in stories.
Descriptive words make your story more interesting. Instead of saying, I saw a dog, you can say, I saw a big, fluffy dog with brown eyes.
Let's practice. Repeat after us. A big, fluffy dog with brown eyes.
A small, cozy cafe on a rainy day.
A delicious homemade chocolate cake.
A beautiful, sunny morning.
Great! Try to use descriptive words in your stories.
Now, let's talk about connecting your story to your listener. Ask questions or invite them to share their own stories.
For example, have you ever tried something new and been surprised by the result? Or, what's the best birthday you've ever had?
Let's practice. Repeat after us. Have you ever?
What about you?
Can you relate?
Excellent! Now let's do a practice section. We'll give you a story starter and you finish the story in your own words.
Here's the first one. One day, I was walking in the park when suddenly...
Take a moment to think. What happened next? Maybe you met someone interesting or you found something surprising.
Here's another. Last year, I traveled to a new city. At first, I felt lost, but then...
How did you feel? What did you discover? Try to finish the story.
Great. Practicing with story starters is a fun way to build your confidence.
Now, let's talk about common mistakes in storytelling.
One mistake is using the wrong verb tense. Remember, most stories use the past tense.
Another mistake is forgetting to use time words like then, after that, or finally. These help your listener follow the story.
And sometimes people forget to describe their feelings. Sharing how you felt makes your story more interesting.
Let's practice correcting a story. Listen to this version.
Yesterday, I go to the store. I see my friend. We talk and buy some food. It is fun.
Can you spot the mistakes? It should be, yesterday I went to the store. I saw my friend. We talked and bought some food. It was fun.
Let's practice. Repeat after us. Yesterday, I went to the store. I saw my friend. We talked and bought some food. It was fun.
Excellent. Now let's do a quick quiz. We'll ask you some questions about storytelling. Try to answer.
Number 1. What tense do we usually use when telling a story about the past?
The answer is the past tense.
Number 2, what's a good way to start a story?
You can say, last year I had an interesting experience, or one day something unexpected happened.
Number 3, why is it important to use descriptive words in your story?
Because they make your story more interesting and help the listener imagine what happened.
Number 4, what's a good way to end a story?
You can say, in the end, everything worked out. Or, it was an experience I'll never forget.
Number 5, how can you invite your listener to share their own story?
You can ask, have you ever? Or, what about you?
Great job! Now let's do a storytelling challenge. We'll give you 3 story starters. Choose one and tell your story out loud or write it down.
Story starter 1. The first time I tried something new,
Story starter 2, a time when I helped someone was.
Story starter 3. A funny thing that happened to me was.
Take your time and remember to use the past tense, time words, and descriptive language.
If you want, share your story with us in the comments or on social media. We love hearing your stories.
Before we finish, here are some tips for better storytelling in English.
Tip 1. Listen to stories in English. Podcasts, audiobooks, or movies. Notice how people start, develop, and end their stories.
Tip 2. Practice telling short stories about your day. Even simple stories help you build confidence.
Tip 3. Record yourself and listen back. Notice your pronunciation, grammar, and how your story flows.
Tip 4. Use gestures and facial expressions if you're telling a story in person. They make your story more engaging.
Tip 5. Don't worry about making mistakes. The more you practice, the better you'll get.
For your homework, choose one of the story starters from today and tell your story to a friend, family member, or even your pet. The important thing is to practice.
And if you want, send us your story. We might share it in a future episode.
Thanks for joining us today on the English Practice Podcast. Remember, you can listen to us in your car, on the go, or anywhere you want to practice your English.
Keep telling stories, keep practicing, and keep learning.
We'll see you next time. Until then,
Hang in there and keep speaking English.
bye everyone.